So right now we're looking for any abnormal temperature. That's what this instrument device is for. And right now we're doing things a little expedient because he can't sit here too long. And we found a reading right here. There's one heck of a reading got here. Okay, go back. How do you like that? There's pretty much almost no reading here.
Wow. I did ice it before coming, so I don't know if that looks like that.
Awesome. Same thing as here as well. The reading here has improved. We do have a small little reading here.
Yeah.
It's significantly improved. Mm-hmm. See that very, very small little reading. See what that's all about. So this instrumentation over here, we're looking for that over there. So when the structure gets damaged, sets off that inflammatory process, the body gives off. So the indicators of that, which is swelling, edema, and increased vascular supply. So clearly we see something going on around here. So, bam, right there, right in the middle of all of that mess right there. Good. Okay, so we're starting with the instrumentation. We're looking for any clear indications of damaged tissues over there. So, when tissue gets damaged, causes an inflammatory process, which results in an abnormal increased temperature of heat, and that's what this device over here is picking up on that side. Let's see now. Got a level right here as well.
For the iron and what do you call it? Shock fiber.
Sure. Okay, so we're doing instrumentation right now, and we're checking for any signs of inflammation. So when there's a structure gets damaged, it initiates that inflammatory process. So we're looking for any defensive mechanisms, such as, is there any localized swelling? And that's what we're seeing right off the bat. There's something really swollen right over here. And that's what this device is already picking up. There's an abnormal temperature right at this level over here. There's something else going on over here. Yes, there is. Reading right there. I believe I saw another one. There it is.
Wait, where do I find orange?
Right here.
Oh, okay. Where's iron mark?
Here we go. Alright, so we're in instrumentation. We're looking for any signs of that inflammatory process. Gives off from a damaged tissue, and the byproduct is abnormal heat. And that's what this device is gonna look for. We're gonna mark any potential areas of concern, which is one right here. I saw something. And then
One more orange.
so what we have here is this is instrumentation. I'm looking for any signs of inflammation. Basically, when those discs, tissue structures start to get damaged, starts off that signal alarm system, and that's inflammation itself. One of the telltale signs is swelling, muscle tightness, and increased temperature due to more vascular supply. So we got a potential reading at that level. Scan. We have something. And there we go. Small little reading to the right on this level here. And down to the side. Okay, that's a tiny reading you got up there. Let's get them nicely.
Let me just get it on top.
Small. Smaller. We got that one. Tiny. First things first. We're gonna do instrumentation. And when your body, when there's some tissue damage, your body starts and initiates an inflammatory process. And some of the telltale signs is localized swelling, like what we see over here. There's going to be some muscle spasms, and there's also going to be some abnormal temperature, meaning there's heat. So when I feel like this spot right here is warmer than everything else. See, if you get a little cooler, warm here, cool. So this device over here is much more sensitive. Because at this particular level, what we're looking for. We've got something here. Got one way down there. I think we saw a cold. There it is. There's another flag there. Right there.
No, that's way too far. I have to go there.
Oh, there you have it, right there.
Alright, good.
Let's see if dose is included. Let's see what everybody else is doing. Okay, so everything else is calming down. That's healing just fine. So you notice the viewers over here, we don't have any readings down there. So that means we did a lot of a stand-up job over here. We're not gonna do anything else, but we saw this big reading over here, that's in trouble. And on top of that, we got all this big swelling right over here. So right now what we're doing is instrumentation. Bottom one is this: when the structure gets damaged, like a herniated disc inside here, what the body does is it starts like an inflammatory process. A couple of byproducts is we just see some swelling, and that's what we see here. There's quite a swelling over here. Yeah, we're gonna find out what's going on with that. It's gonna be muscle spasms. See, it's nice, too soft here, but it's firm here. And it's gonna be abnormal heat, so it's nice. It's like decently, and it's warmer, cool here. So you feel a little warm in this region. That's what this device picks up. So even though my hand is this wide, this device, as you see over here, can pose it right in. So I'm able to identify and isolate. And we feel this pinning edema right there, just sinks in right at this level. This is the one. We're gonna take a closer look, see what's going on, because it's in trouble. In addition to, and we'll touch that base in a bit, okay, this nerve is usually responsible for the innervation to the stomach. So that may explain why she's experiencing that acid reflux. That gag reflex matter as well. When we scale a little lower, even though she's complaining about a lot of sharp low back pain, but we see there's a lot of puffiness, a lot of swelling. See, this is not fat, this is all swelling. It's like a huge airbag just engaging her. And because it's chronic, right there, see, this problem's been there for quite some time. That's why it's such a much lower than I would see as well. We're gonna start off with instrumentation right here. And the bottom line is this: we're looking for any signs of inflammation here. So when the tissue gets damaged, it starts off that inflammatory process. And one of the signs of it is increased swelling. And that's what I'm seeing over here. Muscle spasms also over here as well. And then also increased heat. And that's what I'm feeling over here. There's heat here. See, this is regular temperature, and this is warmer. Okay, right over here. And you can see my hand is much more wider than the probes over here. See these metal contacts over here? It's much more thinner, so it's a lot more precise and accurate to tell me what level we got, and this fellow right here is in trouble. We'll take a look what's going on with that fella. Let's see what else. We have another one, this level here too. So let's see what's going on here too.
downloading at the same time.
And also, that correlates with a lot of data is a lot of swelling as well.
I'm downloading Apex pala.
Warning, large number of hostiles detected nearby.
That's right.
Go back there. My God,
Make this progress here.
my God.
Yeah, right.
What's wrong with me?
Here.
Oh my God, that's down. There is a bottom as well.
Another bigger region.
It's like that. That's my thing. But how do I rename this dog? Gotcha. Google.
A smaller region here.
Yeah, that's...
Okay, we'll start off with instrumentation. Looking for any potential abnormal heat temperatures. We found one at this level. Keep on scanning. We found another one at this level here, right at the same level as that rib.
Yeah.
Found one over here too. I believe we saw something around here as well. Nope.
Signal station terminal located on the second floor.
Alright, so
Must
this
activate
is
the
instrumentation.
access.
So when all that structures get damaged,
Do you think it's faster than
cause an inflammatory response. We're looking for any abnormal heat temperature. We found one at this level here. I'm pretty sure I saw some other areas too. Let's see what else we got.
Hostiles approaching.
Another reading here.
Tama ako ng barba.
The signal is coming from the center of the station.
Where am I supposed to
Right
go?
here. Okay, let's get this ball rolling over here. So what we're doing right now is instrumentation. We're looking for any signs of abnormal temperature that comes about from damaged structural tissue. And engage the inflammatory process. So upon visualization, we're looking for is there any signs of swelling? Muscle
I now have
spasms,
access
which
to
we'll be seeing
advanced
right off the bat
functions and
here
am
and here as well.
awake. I am here
And
to
this device
assist
over
you.
here picks up that. Also, the other byproduct,
Main door
heat.
now open.
So we found.
With a new Nescafe Gold 2-gram stick, enjoy expertly crafted coffee every day.
The main base. Oh, it turns out I'm wrong.
Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and in today's video, I'm excited to be here in London on Savile Row with Tony Gassiano of Gassiano and Girling. Tony, hey, thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, pleasure.
It's such a privilege to be back here, and we're going to be commissioning my first pair of shoes. And so, as part of our Last Makers series, where we film bespoke last makers taking measurements, we're going to film the process of you kind of kicking this off. So that's pretty exciting. So I guess one of the great things about having the shop here on Savile Row is you get a place to do bespoke measurements here in London.
Yeah,
But also, during the trunk shows, traveling around, you can do bespoke measurements as well.
yes, yeah. No, it's London's a great base for. It's such an international city that most people come here anyway. But occasionally we travel around the world to Asia, to America, and we take bespoke measurements in wherever we stay, whether it be a hotel suite or another shop, and then we follow up probably 6 months later with the fittings.
Yeah.
So
And I guess what's exciting about now that you're stepping back into bespoke is that you're taking the measurements and doing the last making. And so that kind of has that chain of custody, if you will.
yeah, it keeps everything tight as well. It's bespoke is very important to, that when you meet the customer, you understand the customer, you extract the information out of the customer that you need to find out what type of fit he likes, and what he's looking for. So that when I'm making the last, I've got all that information in my brain. So it becomes very disjointed if one guy takes a measure, then another guy makes the last. So it's we've really kind of gone back to square one.
Yeah.
And,
It's full circle.
Yeah, it's the best
exciting.
way to work. Okay, so what I'm going to get you to do is if you can stand up for me, please. Place this foot right in the center of that section. Perfect. And this one here. Just going to roll your trouser up so it doesn't get in the way of the measure. So first thing I normally ask is if there are any sensitive areas of the foot that you experience while you're doing.
My insteps are normally pretty pronounced.
Yep.
And that's, at the end of the day, what produces the most discomfort.
Right, okay. And that is because typically you like to tie your shoelaces quite tight or a certain amount of gap on the instep of the Oxford, or just generally?
Just generally.
Okay, cool. So What we're going to do now is obviously I'm going to take an outline of the foot to get the outside area, and then we'll take a certain circumference measures
Print the
throughout the foot,
motorcycle
measure
from
the,
your micro
the depth of the toes and the joints to make sure that we can get that profile right, and just generally kind of study the feet. I mean, I can see straight away that you've got a difference in shape between your left and right feet. So when that happens, we kind of we incorporate that into the last making, but we try our best to make the shoe, the end shoe, look symmetrical so that you can't see it, even though it's there.
Yeah, that's part of the, I guess, the challenge of glass making is making beautiful shoes, not, feet-shaped shoes.
Lydia,
Yeah,
plot a
I
route
mean,
to Sundale Valley.
you always have to make a pair
Waypoint
of shoes, but
teleportation
you don't always get a pair of feet.
There is a console at the main
So-
gate of the sanctuary.
Okay, so now if you can keep yourself evenly balanced, try and refrain from looking one side or the other because it distributes the weight slightly differently. And then we can start. So this part of the measurement creates an outside boundary which will build the last two. So that when I'm creating the outline shape of the last, it will be to this exact line.
Bottle of water.
It's important to know as well when to extract what kind of shoes the customer might have in the future as well, because whether you're having boots or whether you're having slip-on loafers, it might mean taking a few different measurements. Yeah. Okay, so that line I'm drawing in now is basically the arch area, so it will tell me how deep the arch is, how flat the arch is, or how high the arch is, and how much support that I really need to give you around this area. So this is taking the foot length measurement. And typically in last making there is 3 length measurements. There's foot length, shoe size and last length. Shoe size is and foot length is there's no variation there, but with last length, depending on the foot, you can kind of make it last longer or shorter depending on what type of shoe that you're making.
What size am I?
So you are around about size 9.5. Yeah, you should take about a 9.5 UK size. Okay.
What is that?
Okay. So we mark the areas, some of the features of the foot as well, just taking notes down, kind of making a note that you're quite shallow around the outside of the joint of your foot. And then we take some height measurements of features like the toes.
Okay. Ngayon, mabilis.
And then we take the height of the joint as well. And finally, we take an instep height as well, which is roughly around where the instep bone is, which you can feel here. That's the area normally on an instep that causes the most pain.
Yeah. It's quite sensitive with me. Bony.
I'm going to upgrade my guitar. That's how I'm going to do it. Pero, shit, tracking naman tayo. Yes, sure. Can I track this one?
Okay. So now we'll take measurements around the circumference of your foot. One will be from the joint to the small toe. One will be across the widest part,
I remember where
which
it
is
is.
the
How long have you been there,
to
Matt?
travel
How long have you
quickly
been
between
joint
there?
locations.
measurement.
Use
Then we
it to
take a
travel to
lower
Sundale
instep, which
Valley
is roughly
instantly.
the area where the
Activate the
bottom of an
waypoints
Oxford
located
lacing
in
would
each
come.
area for efficient
We take an
travel.
extra
Got it.
measurement there where
Let's
the
go.
instep
Good
bone
luck.
is to make sure that we get that measurement right. And then finally up to the top of the instep, which is normally where the top of an Oxford lacing would come. Then we take what's called a short heel measure, which will be from that top measure round the back of the heel and back to the instep measurement. We take an ankle measurement from the same point round to where the top of the back would come, and there. And we do the same on both feet.
Daming trabaho. Daming ganap. Stress eating. Bigat ng feeling. I-sterilize na yan. Mag-Bear Brand Sterilize. With calcium, B vitamins, and zinc. Tulong para you feel malinis, feel matibay. Tulong para may tibay sa buhay. I-Bear Brand Sterilize yan.
I have to finish this paper. I'm swamped. No one told me college would be so damp.
Just get Grammarly. It's free.
Can it help with what I wrote last night? It only took 3 coffees and some cheese.
Grammarly will catch all those spelling and grammar errors, and it'll help with the bigger stuff. Like, look, you're being way too casual here, and it's saying that this paragraph needs to be shorter. So then, click, you fix it.
Is this why nobody else is stressed about this paper? I thought there was just something in the water.
There is. Grammarly can also give you ideas to make your writing better. Add more background, add specific examples, focus your conclusion.
Wow, this sounds like me, but better. A less damp me.
Victory looks good on you.
You think a less damp me could get that internship?
A less damp you could do anything. Download Grammarly for free.
And are all your measurements done fully weighted, standing?
All the measurements are done fully weighted standing because basically, you need to maximize the amount of the feet spread. So if you make the shoe to that standing measurement, it's always really comfortable when you're standing or sitting. Whereas if you use a sitting measurement when you're standing, the shoe's going to end up tight. So if you can keep your heel and just lift the front of your foot up, and that's it, and down again. So I always mark where the tape goes so that when I go back to the last, I can put the tape in exactly the same place. Okay, and just lift again, please. And that's the joint measurement.
Oh my god, you guys have no idea how bad.
And again, please. And lower instep measurement.
Bend down and down, bend down. Ano ba?
And again, please. And this is the measurement where that instep bone would be. Okay, and then the high instep measurement. And then we go round the back of the heel. Just lift your heel up for me. Circle round the cup and put your foot down to where the top of the lacing would be.
What's that measurement for?
So this measurement, this is what really kind of keeps the back of the shoe flush to your foot. So that's quite, especially on a loafer, it's quite important to make sure that there's no gap at the back and there's no slippage when you're walking in the shoes. Do one round the ankle as well. Okay, and while we're here, we just take a measurement of the height of the ankle bone, because sometimes people have quite low ankle bones and they sit on the top of the top line of a shoe, which can be quite uncomfortable. And that just allows us to cut the pattern underneath where that bone is.
And it's an asymmetric pattern?
Yeah.
So it's lower on the outside than it is on the inside?
Yeah. Okay. So now if you can just step off for a second.
Yep.
Okay. I'm just going to spin the measure around. Okay. And then if you can step back on. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly trace around the foot again. This gives me some idea of the contours of your foot, so it helps me get the depth right around this area when I'm making the last.
Look how many freaking holes that I got there.
So that's about distribution of volume?
Yeah, it's quite, you know, sometimes it's quite difficult to read how much depth you need to put on a last, so it just kind of helps with that, and that will prevent unnecessary access creasing and things like that.
Because excessive creasing is really too much volume in the shoe, right?
That's right, yeah. And actually, you know, when customers complain that the shoe's hurting them in this area, it's usually caused by too much volume and the creasing back into the foot rather than not enough. So. Okay. So what else we do is we actually do, to get this ankle curve right on the shoe, we do the same thing. So around about where the top of the back of the shoe comes in, we just do this and it gives me the correct shape around here. Okay, so Alright. One last thing I need to do, if you can just step off for me again. And what we're going to do is do it that way. Okay, and stay. Put your feet together, and that's it. And a little bit more. That's it. Perfect.
Like that?
Yep. Okay. So this really allows me to concentrate on the areas of the contours of the back heel curve and what depth and shape this area of your foot is. Okay, so that's pretty much the measurement complete.
Wow, so that's great. I mean, I've gone through a lot of these, Tony, and I have to say this is really quite detailed compared to a lot of the other bespoke measurements.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I'm not fully familiar with what other people do, but really all I really concentrate on is giving myself enough details of all the different areas of the foot so that I'm not guessing when I get back to the workshop.
Yeah.
So other than the kind of underfoot, which that gives me a little bit of information there, everything is covered. So
you'll take these measurements and you'll start with your block of wood, the last.
Yes.
And you're using these measurements, but you're also, it's sculpture, right? That's where your design eye comes in. So taking into account like the toe shape that the client selects, you're really sculpting a beautiful shoe that takes into account these measurements.
That's correct. Every measure is different with every customer. There's not a singular formula to all the individual measures. It's a very kind of you innovate as you kind of go along, if you know what I mean. Especially when you're trying to mix aesthetics with fit. So normally what I do is concentrate purely on making the last fit first, and so the dimensions, get everything right, and then I look at the toe shape and the aesthetics as a completely separate thing. You know, how can I build certain shapes and silhouettes into this that give the customer what he wants from the shoe.
So will you do that by taking away and building up after you've done the measurements?
Normally, sometimes it's building up, but the skill is by taking away and building up in a way that it doesn't affect the fit of the shoe.
Yeah, that's interesting. What do you think the most challenging part of the last making is?
It's making a pair.
Really?
Yeah, it's really. I mean, you can make half a pair of last, and you can look in it and admire, and then when you look at the other half, it's actually kind of getting that to kind of match up to the same shape and get it right down. One of my old bosses used to turn around to me and say, just leave the last alone, because you're just going to end up with a pile of sawdust on the floor, because I was trying to just perfect it so much as a pair. There probably is no such thing as a perfect pair. It's as close as you can get.
As close as you can get. Yeah, that's great. And then, what is like the most fulfilling part of this for you? As a true artisan, what are you left with at the end of the process that just really intrinsically is fulfilling?
I always get a buzz out of creating the shoe as we go along, but I think the most fulfilling part is actually fitting the shoe on the customer, and he turns around and says, "Well, I don't know what to say." That's the best sign. So that kind of relieves that little bit of anxiety you have every time you fit somebody's feet.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how beautiful the shoes are if they're uncomfortable. They have to be comfortable and fit. Right?
Exactly, but as well, everybody has different priorities. Some people do come to us and say they're prepared to forego a little bit of kind of pinching and things in order to kind of get the shape. But I'll try not to do that too much, because inevitably, a few days down the line, those shoes will come back and they will be altered. So, we try to get the fit. Really what I want to do is when you stand in those finished pair of Bespoke, is for the fit to feel 100%. And then, but the things that you can't anticipate is when the customer wears them for a 12-hour day, starts walking in them, that's when we kind of expect a little bit, maybe a few tweaks and that to kind of come back to us. And then we obviously service that by correcting those mistakes.
And that's part of the evolution of kind of the client journey.
Exactly.
But the first pair is perfect, comfortable.
Yeah.
It's technically flawless.
Yeah.
And there might be some tweaking, but it's very kind of minor. And
normally that can to do with different leathers that you choose, or how the leather has reacted to kind of molding on the last, different things like that, which probably have nothing to do with the last, but are generally, whether it's bespoke or ready to wear, leather has a certain set stiffness about it. It does need to break down. The customer does need to wear them 4 or 5 times to kind of be able. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's great. Well, I couldn't be more excited, Tony. So I guess the next step is you taking this back to the workshop and creating some sawdust, carving up a nice wooden last, and then building, I guess, the first fitting.
Yeah. Let's hope I don't end up with a pile of sawdust with you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
That's all right.
It's a true honor.
It's a
be able
pleasure
to have you make a pair of shoes for me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be more excited. You have to sign the last. I'm gonna have to get a picture with it when we're done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, pleasure. Nice to see you.
Wow, so there we are. This is really the genesis of the bespoke process, or those bespoke measurements. And I really can't overstate how important they are, and how important that they are done well. And I have to say, it's really encouraging to see the amount of detail the attention to detail that Tony takes in those measurements. I have full confidence that these are going to be some of the best fitting shoes I own. And then also to have Tony Gaziano, I mean, Tony and Dean, really are legends in modern shoemaking. What they did with Gaziano and Girling really was on the cutting edge, back in the early 2000s, whenever they broke away from the establishment, established Gaziano and Girling, and really updated and energized that classic English aesthetic. Of course.
Tungsten gun. Pati backpack may dami. Battle. Oh, that's a huge one. Alam, we're going to find one. Upgrade ko na. Upgrade ko na siya. Ito na naman. Ang plastic ko yan. How am I supposed to get one? Where am I supposed to get one? I wanted to find the top one. But what do you want to do? Let's go, may happy na ako. Let's go, our first craft weapon, guys. DBS na ano. Just pag DBS yun. This is favorite. No, let's go guys. Let's go. Bago naman yung ako. Uy. Purple lang ba siya? How do I repair this? Wait. Okay. So now I have to repair this manually. This way. Let's go. Okay. Ano kaya ko lang dito na ganun siya? Ay, gagi! Pero ko SD. Wala bang shotgun dun? Ay, ito shotgun. Baka kasi DBS. Golden yan. Ate! Siguro level 10 na ako. Ayun, hindi na naman. Ano may Odin dito, ano? Dito. Pati ba naman dito? Pinakrap lang yung dito sa street na nagandari. life is so Buto ko din yan. Hindi ko na din ang dito na lang dito. Bakit hindi dito sa dito? May lambat pa ako eh. Dalawa pa. I just put one gigas password. Yo, ginalang pa ako ng isa, my God. Talaga ba? Kaya ako guys. Ang sakit ka, ah. Let's sell this. This is frick, man. Yun. So that's how we're going to get closer. Let's grab another warehouse. Mahal naman mga cabinet dito. Ano chapter? Nagbago yung posible. Lahat ng to, nakakagalaw pa lang ako. Diba ni Jesus Lord? Ayan, tapos na. That's it. Ito yung posible. Wala ko naman. Uy, gago na bumili. Fishing rod ba? Drop ahead in shooting mode. Kaya ako fishing rod po. Kasi na parang nagap natin sa ano. Exploration lang ba? Crafting na tayo. sana kanina.